Dreamscape presents Secrets of Swanfield House by Elayne Grimes. Narrated by Raghad Chaar. Chapter 1. Marcie Mosse hadn't been home for almost a year, and she'd forgotten how long it took to drive from Inverness to the remote Highland village of Strathkin. That spring morning, she was blessed with clear weather as her hire car swept through a landscape of craggy, snow-capped mountains. Descending an alpine-like valley, the road wound around and weaved in and out of dappled tree shadows until she reached the brow of the hill before the village. Marcie pulled into a parking area alongside two motorcyclists who were taking photographs from the elevated viewing platform. Further down the hillside, beneath their feet, the rocks lessened, and a lush green depression reached down to the glen of Strathpine. Strathkin Loch was glistening, and in the far distance the small weekly ferry pulled away from the pier, heading out to the summer isles before it would lurch across the Minch to the islands beyond. The motorcyclist drew away with a roar. A buzzard captured Marcie's eye as it circled above. A tourist eagle, she heard her Uncle Callum say in her mind. She watched the bird swoop in the cool spring air and glide into the glen on a scavenging hunt. Climbing back into the car, Marcie steeled herself for the emotional moment when she finally laid eyes on the sign for Swanfield, her family home. From this distance, she could see her Uncle Callum's small croft house, Sweet Briar, set behind a low dry stone wall he'd painstakingly put together over several warm summers and harsh winters. The small white cottages scattered around Strathkin Loch could only be reached by a narrow single-track road that weaved through the estate. In days gone by, Strathkin had been an important port and a tourist destination. Now many crofts and farmhouses stood empty, long abandoned enclaves of a forgotten past. Many of the remaining inhabitants of the cottages and crofts in the village still worked on the Strathkin estate. Often, even in summer, in this remote and unforgiving landscape, fires would be lit and stories woven into the fabric of the Highlands were exchanged over thick tea and thicker slices of homemade cake. Some still communicated with smoke signals. If the chimney...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?